Hello friends, and happy full moon in Virgo. Oh my goodness, it's February 23rd and look at me, I'm in a bathing suit sitting at these gorgeous hot springs in Garden Valley, Idaho, watching the sun set in Pisces, and on the other side momentarily the moon will be rising, this beautiful full moon in Virgo. So let me introduce myself. I'm Andrea Blythe of Let Love Rise, where I am passionate about the moon, music, mindset, and the ancient wisdom of the Magi. And this weekend there is going to be a gathering of goddesses up here to celebrate the very first inaugural Let Love Rise VIP day retreat. And we will be coming back here to these hot springs to just really sink into the energies that are present right now. So what does it mean when the moon is in Virgo and the sun is in Pisces and this opposition? I mean, after all the crazy intensive energies that maybe you have felt over the last couple weeks, as all of our personal planets have passed through the the planet of death and transformation, Pluto, at that 0 degrees of Aquarius. So first the sun ushered in Pluto into the sign of Aquarius at the end of January, and then it was followed by Mercury and Mars and Venus going through what I just kind of call like a transformative portal. This is new energy that we haven't experienced here in this lifetime on Earth. I mean, the last time that Pluto was in the sign of Aquarius was, think back 250 years to the American and French revolutions, the Industrial Revolution. There was a lot of change, a lot of upheaval, a lot of endings, a lot of death, and a lot of destruction. And that can be very, very hard to internalize. How do I move through this? And so for me, I think it's often just having that higher perspective, taking a look and seeing how does this, in my personal astrological birth chart, how is this speaking to me? And then honestly, sometimes it's easy to get overwhelmed by all the things that are happening around us, the transformation, people that are leaving jobs, perhaps living locations, ways of thinking, all the things that leave, they are for our soul growth. That is that higher perspective when we can look at it from this place that these things that feel like they're happening to us and are really hard are really growing our soul and expanding us and giving us that graduation into a higher form of living. And so when we have the moon in Virgo, the moon is hanging out kind of by itself over there on that side. It's look at what piece of pie it falls in your astrological birth chart, and that will let you know what is being illuminated for you. For me, it's in my 6th house of work and health. Even pets are part of the 6th house. So it's shining a light on that for me. But the real big energies are found right now over in Aquarius and Pisces. So Pisces is where the sun is. That is opposite of Virgo on the chart. And along with the sun in Pisces, we also have Mercury, the sign of communication, who is the ruler of Virgo. And so that's what's kind of funny is like Virgo is very taskmaster oriented. It's detailed. It wants like, here's what I have to do. Here are all the things. And Pisces is the dreamer. It is the 2 fish. It's swimming. It's the flow. It's letting go. It's surrendering. And that's where both the sun and Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, or so therefore of this full moon, are in Pisces, kind of being like, okay, you can plan all you want and then surrender and go with the flow. So what a beautiful place to be. You know, that you could see some snow on the riverbanks, up on the mountaintops there's some snow, but just being by a river is such a great reminder to just flow. Let what be, whether it's an emotion, the moon rules over our bodies and our emotion. Let that emotion rise up, feel it, let it flow on through. You know, those are the big callings of this sun and moon opposition. Also, there's Saturn and Neptune are hanging out in Pisces, so there's more to be done around like boundaries and our dreams, our hopes, our fears. And then finally, the last note that is worthwhile, there are actually 2, is that there's also a square happening to Uranus, who is the ruler of Aquarius. And as I said, Pluto, Venus and Mars are conjunct. That means they are right next to each other right now up there. the male and female dynamic just going through this portal of transformation, and being ruled by Uranus, who's in Taurus, shaking things up perhaps in your financial houses, in your self-worth, all of that. It's just part of the journey. So when we have that higher perspective, we understand a little bit better. It's Mars and Venus together in this sign of Aquarius, which is all about the collective. It is also all about freedom and independence and new ways of being, technology and the future and how we're moving forward. And what is the dynamic within us and collectively in terms of our balancing masculine, feminine energies? Just to simplify how to think about that is, asking yourself, do you predominantly lean into a more masculine side of your energy field or a more feminine? Do you feel like it's balanced? If it's out of balance, heyo, that's me. Mine's been out of balance. It's a time to look at that energy. What do you need to bring in? How can you develop new patterns and behavior, release limiting beliefs or fear that are holding you back in a certain way where it just feels comfortable, and shaking things up to be like, well, what is best for me now? What is in my highest alignment now? How do I want to show up courageously, authentically, me? Because we have this one beautiful, precious life to live. So my friends, Pluto's going to continue to shake things up. This 0 degrees of Aquarius, these new energies, we don't know where it's going. All that we ultimately have control over is our mind and how we are going to choose to respond and how we are going to choose to receive information and how we are going to let that information flow through us and not pull us down, not drag us down, but lift ourselves to the highest that we can be. So I hope that under this beautiful full moon in Virgo that you will get some skies that are as clear as these here in Garden Valley, Idaho this weekend. Look up, dream. Pisces is all about the dream, and that's where the sun is right now. So dream big. What is it that you want for yourself? There is no dream that is too small. The only thing that gets in the way of us and our most authentic, beautiful life is our mindset and the limiting beliefs that we put around them. So I invite you under this moon to think big. Look forward 6 months from now. What changes would you like to see in your life? And then also look back 6 months. What was happening last August? What dreams were being planted? It's a great time for reflection. Thank you for listening. As always, if you appreciate and enjoy what you hear here, please share my message with other people. That is how we collectively raise the vibration. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, I would so appreciate it if you would. It helps me get my message out to those that need to hear an encouraging word today. So once again, Andrea Blythe of Let Love Rise, thank you so much for being here as the sun is setting. The light in me honors the light in you. May you have a beautiful, beautiful full moon in Virgo. Namaste.